Hello guys, Lucas here from Stoic Crypto Investing. Today we look at the price prediction of Michael Saylor, the famous crypto investor that you probably all know, or if you don't know him, he's a guy that has already invested a lot in Bitcoin, solely in Bitcoin, nothing else, and he really believes in that asset. And luckily, some years ago or recently, he went on the Lex Friedman podcast. And if you know this podcast, it's really famous. It's a little bit more technical. It's like the technical version of the Joe Rogan podcast. And yeah, Michael Saylor gives an estimate of his Bitcoin price prediction. It's really interesting for me, and it's also interesting for you to see this price prediction. So let's have a listen to his opinion
of it.
So Bitcoin price has gone through quite a roller coaster. What do you think is the high point it's going to hit?
I think it'll go forever,
They go straight into the question. I like that.
right? I mean, I think the Bitcoin is going to climb in a serpentine fashion. It's going to advance and come back, and it's going to keep climbing. I think that the volatility attracts all the capital into the marketplace. And so the volatility makes it the most interesting thing in the financial universe. It also generates massive yield and massive returns for traders, and that attracts capital. Like, we're talking about the difference between 5% return and 500% return.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, who does not want to have 500% return? That's huge. That's crazy.
fast money is attracted by the volatility. The volatility has been decreasing year by year by year. I think that it's stabilizing. I don't think we'll see as much volatility in the future as we have in the past. I think that if we look at Bitcoin and model it as
I gotta agree with the volatility take, because if you understand the Bitcoin halving, you know that there will always be less Bitcoin that can be added to the liquidity pool of Bitcoin, because there are already a lot of Bitcoins around, and the Bitcoin halving causes the miners to get less of a return. That has a correlation with the less Bitcoins that are available, and so more effort has to go in to get the same returns that they used to have before. And if there is less of a new supply, or no, I gotta say it differently. If there are less Bitcoin that can be mined, and don't like basically leave a shortage of Bitcoin around, like the halving causes that less Bitcoin can be around, to be honest. And if that's the case, then the demand and supply that is not going that crazy as before, when a huge supply got added still. Nevertheless, of the Bitcoin halving, it was still really profitable. And so I think, in my opinion, that the volatility will be reduced in the future, because there are so many Bitcoins around, like a little Bitcoin halving does not cause huge volatility anymore.
digital gold, the market cap goes to between 10 and 20 trillion. But gold is defective property. Gold is dead money. You have $1 billion of gold that sits in a vault for a decade. It's very hard to mortgage the gold. It's also very hard to rent the gold. You can't loan the gold. No one's going to create a business with your gold. So gold doesn't generate much of a yield. So for that reason, most people wouldn't store $1 billion for a decade in gold. They would buy $1 billion of commercial real estate property. And the reason why is because I can rent it and generate a yield on it that's in excess of the maintenance cost. So if you consider digital property, that's $100 to $200 trillion addressable market. So I would think it goes from 10 trillion to 100 trillion as people start to think of it as digital property.
What does that mean in terms of price per coin?
At 500,000, right? That's a $10 trillion
That's 10
asset.
trillion.
At 5 million, that's a $100 trillion asset.
So you think it crosses a million, it can go even higher?
Yeah, I think it keeps going up forever. I mean, there's no reason it couldn't go to 10 million a coin, right?
That's crazy. He actually believes that Bitcoin, one coin, can go up to 10 million in the future, like in 50 years. So if you now have 0.1% of Bitcoin and you wait maybe for 30, 50 years, that's going to be a million and you don't have to do anything. That's kind of crazy, his price prediction. But yeah, he has done a lot of research. He has put a lot of money at stake in this market. And so, yeah, maybe that will happen. And I believe since it is a digital currency and will replace basically the gold, and you can do more with Bitcoin because it's not physically somewhere, there is a possibility that that will happen in the future. So if you like that video, please leave a subscribe here, and yeah, there are some videos around that you also can watch.